Greetings. Elder Blacklight. Now, the other day we were talking about uh, studying the enemy, like before a big fight. Uh, most fighters study their enemy. Some fighters, they don't study, but their style of fighting is so free that they go with the flow. However, they can. They're more like artists. They articulate how the fight goes through their uh, ability to adapt to any fighter style of fighting. And, this is a raw talent that a lot of fighters don't have. Well, uh, in Detroit, in my generation, we were like that. And uh, a lot of people don't, are only know about the negative part of the black man's fight. That's why Master Farad came to Detroit first. He came to Detroit first because he knew that it was some powerful or brothers that he could use, brothers and sisters that he could use to implant his seed. And Detroit was one of them. Detroit, Michigan. Son of Man came here, Marvin Muhammad, because he knew that we were used to listening to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and there was a vacancy, and he came, but he's perpetrating a fraud, though, because he created his own flag. He don't believe in Master Farad Muhammad as the Son of Man. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote a song, says, "We are fighting for Islam, and we will surely win. Allah has given us the national, the sun, the moon, and the star. So let us rise, O ye black men, and fight for your own national emblem, the sun, the moon, and the star." So that represents the whole universe. And the whole universe is the black man, believe it or not. So I'm going to talk about what's going on and what the enemy, I've studied the enemy's camp. I know what's in store for the black man if you don't hurry up and wake up. And I'm so glad that Lord uh, Lord Jamar on Glad TV. Let me see if I could get him to speak a little bit.
Well, tell me why you don't think it's the same type of thing. Well, first of all, I feel like in the 90s what was going on was organic. And it actually came from the people. It was the frustration of the actual people that were living the bullshit from day to day. Rodney King was a final straw for black people, and we organically, not in a way that was directed, we organically protested, rioted, whatever you want to call it, had an uprising, which, again, was organic from the people that were affected by it, which is why it was a predominantly black movement. Fast forward to today's new movement that we have. First of all, you can go back to multiple Vlad TV interviews where I tell you that America is trying to start a race war. America, for the longest time, has specifically been trying to get black people to react in a violent way as a protest against all the murders and stuff that they've been doing. But we didn't do it. We didn't do it. Partially because the type of youth that exists today are not as politically astute as the youth that existed when I was coming up. You know, the whole culture of when I was coming up, you had the Boogie Down Productions and the...
So let's stop it right there with him. And just like he was saying about the youth now wasn't astute, politically astute. Well, they weren't politically astute as my generation, but they spoke about it in music. The brothers and sisters nowadays, they on another level. So he's right on. That interview with Vlad, y'all need to look that up. And I'm going to add on to what he's saying about what's going on, what they're trying to do, and what they're going to do. See, they want those brothers and sisters out there starting stuff, not wearing face masks, and then you got the white troublemakers instigating it on, and they're now linking every kind of disease to COVID-19. If you got high blood pressure, if you got hay fever, if you got eczema, if you got gallstones, whatever, COVID-19. And they're going to have people in your community, when they hear somebody sneeze, it could be a bug went up their nose or something. They can hear somebody sneeze and cough, trying to get that bug out of them. Your next door neighbor is going to report you. And they're going to demand that you be quarantined or inoculated with some kind of a vaccine or tested. And they want to trace everybody you came in contact with. And all of them are going to be quarantined, inoculated. And you don't know what's going to be in it. All of this is complete control. Now what I'm telling y'all, as the days go on, the news media are playing the people. They fighting among each other, but they're using black people on the front line. And they're going to use black people to as guinea pigs, really. And just like the Tuskegee Institution, the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, which probably COVID probably came from that. COVID-19 is coming from that. They want to find out what affects the black man and how to control him, because we're in a war, and he's dominating the black man because the black man wants to befriend the Caucasian, and it's against the Caucasian nature to uh, befriend the black man. He's putting on an act. You know, he can tell if you're Uncle Tom, if you're a traitor, and he know those who are not, and they are very wise, but they have no influence over the majority of black people, because the majority of the black people have been dummied down, have been softened up, and conditioned to the culture, the white man's culture. And what's going to happen is everything is going to be put in place before they have the so-called elections. See, the government has been overthrown a long time ago by the Rothschilds and the Federal Reserve, and they're controlling this illusion, this scam. They're controlling it. So the majority of our people are going to fall victim to this, you know, and it's going to be mostly young. So we're going to come back with a part two, and then that's going to be it.